Oh, yeah, here's the export control, and the tacit recognition that the export controls failed is from Financial Times. Donald Trump said he's considering allowing Nvidia, now I'm saying Nvidia to sell a more advanced chip in China after confirming that they negotiated a little deal in which the U.S. will take a 15% fee of the chip maker's artificial intelligence processor sales to the country. At least $1 billion worth of NVIDIA's advanced artificial intelligence processor were shipped to China in 3 months after U.S. President Donald Trump tightened chip export controls, according to Financial Times analysis. Here's what you need to know. A roaring black market. The Financial Times analysis of dozens of sales contracts, company filings, and multiple people with direct knowledge of the deals reveals that NVIDIA's B200 has become the most sought after and widely available chip in a rampant Chinese black market for American semiconductors. The processor is widely used by U.S. powerhouses such as OpenAI, Google, and Meta to train their latest AI systems, but banned for sale in China. In May, multiple Chinese distributors started selling B200s to suppliers of data centers that serve Chinese AI groups, according to documents reviewed by Financial Times. Nvidia and AMD have reportedly agreed to give the U.S. government 15% of their revenues from chip sales in China. This is being described as an unusual agreement with Trump in order to obtain export licenses for the chips. This was just reported by the Financial Times and will come as a major surprise to investors. Previously announced export control rollbacks came without any incremental tariffs. Chip stocks won't like this tomorrow. To be fair, Biden did the same shit with GPUs. They had the 4090D because the 4090 was banned in China. I mean, I think it's already incredibly stupid to try and fucking ban China from receiving this technology, especially in this day and age when you can't even stop Russia from receiving new shipments of cars. Okay? That's a lot harder to fucking process and ship than a goddamn fleet, a stack of processors, semiconductors. Okay? Especially considering that some of the components are literally made in China. So how are you going to stop that? It doesn't make any sense. China has innovated past the block before. There's no reason they won't do it again. That as well, but I don't think it's something you can do in this day and age. Maybe I'm wrong. We blocked the USSR from getting IBM computers for years. This is partially considered one of the elements that led to the meltdown in Chernobyl. Yeah, but if you compare global trade between the USSR and America to China and America, there is no comparison. The USSR was not responsible for 30% of all manufactured items. You know? Not only was it an entirely different time for global trade, but also there wasn't a complex web of tremendous amounts of trade taking place with the country that we're trying to stop from receiving these items. Yeah, IBM computers weren't being made in the USSR. You know? This is one of the most impactful, one of the most significant differences between modern day China and the USSR. China has made itself an irreplaceable force in global trade, utilizing the endless need for low-cost manufacturing that capital owners had in the Western world to their advantage to make themselves an irreplaceable force around the planet. And what they did with all of the bounties that they got out of it, all the foreign capital that flew in to the country, they actually redistributed back evenly with rapid development, rapid urbanization, building the necessary infrastructure to continue uplifting millions, if not almost a billion people out of fucking extreme poverty. And they were able to do so successfully. And in the process, they, again, and I'm going to repeat this one more time, they became an irreplaceable force around the globe. They did not choose to isolate themselves from the rest of the planet for any reason, whether it's ideological or not. And as a matter of fact, they became a force that you just simply cannot push aside. That is part of the reason why Trump's tariffs regime has been somewhat of a spectacular failure. Because if you were to try and decouple trade with some of our most significant partners, surrounding China, it's just not going to fucking happen because they're like, well, they are more important as a trade partner to us than America is. China was set to surpass Nvidia since they were forced to invest into developing their own chips. China was banned from the ISS, so it built its own. Now it's the most advanced space station in the world, and the ISS is being decommissioned. Yeah. Anytime you try to like actively stop Chinese development, they just either find a workaround and make their own thing, okay, or they just find a workaround in terms of trade and still receive the goods regardless. So technically, yes, it is not that China is not doing anything. Oh, do nothing equals win. It's that they are doing shit. They're doing shit all the time.
A lot of people, but mostly soldiers. And they're young soldiers, although in the case of Ukraine, they're getting much older. They're drafting.
Yeah, central planning too OP, please nerf paradox is right. The irony, of course, is that if America wanted to beat China, I don't even know if that's like a thing that we can do at this stage, but they would need to be more like China. We would need to be more China to beat China, but we won't. We have tremendous wealth in this country. We have the skeleton of an infrastructure that still works, but we're not fucking doing it. We could build a robust manufacturing base. We could actually automate the fuck out of said robust manufacturing base while still keeping on the labor force without firing them, so that they're doing very little work, but they're still getting paid as though they're doing all of the work with their own hands. And that way we could have a healthy labor first economy. We don't do any of those things. We're just like actively pushing for our own demise.